And recording. Thank you guys for hopping on tonight. I love all your beautiful faces. And even those of you who are blanked out, I love your faces too, even though I can't see them right now. So what I am going to go through tonight, who got to see the RVP by GTC, or at least plans on watching the recording if she records it? Yeah, awesome. I love it. So RVP to be, or I keep saying RVP to be, RVP by GTC. And what that means, most of you guys know this, Regional Vice President by GTC, our global training conference. That does not mean if you cannot go to GTC, you shouldn't be participating. It's just a goal. It's a timeline. You should be going to GTC, but that's neither here nor there. I'll just rub it in your face while we're there. No, I'm just kidding. Probably will. But I know sometimes there's just, you can't make it. And so that does not mean you should not be going for the goal. And that does not mean you cannot participate in this activity that we're doing. What the reason we're doing it is, obviously we all want to promote. I'm doing NVP by GTC, but the goal is really balancing your schedules and getting into the habit of being consistent. That's it. She's not teaching anything that we all haven't already talked about. Not a single thing. We're just being structured about it and putting a time frame with it and having some accountability with it. That's it. So for some of you, you may be looking at these numbers and going, I don't actually, Sarah Bryant and I were talking about this earlier. A piece that is a little bit scary to me at first is the whole idea of doing 5 a day, 5 reach outs a day, and they only count if they respond. So that piece I know is where I need to, yeah, Lindsay Baker. I see it all over your face right now, right? Reality setting in. They only count if they respond. So I know it's going to push me. One, because I know I'm already, I'm like sweating just thinking about that goal. So I know that's where I need to lean in. That's one of my weaknesses. So I need to lean into that because I'm uncomfortable. And I've had to train my brain that way. And a lot of you guys are going to get there too. For the longest time, I was like, ooh, uncomfortable. I'm not doing that. Gold bag drop-offs used to make me uncomfortable. Wouldn't do them. Wouldn't teach it to my team because it made me uncomfortable. Man, that works. It works. And I was nervous about it. So I know that this 5 reach outs thing is going to be the same thing. And the big thing with it, you guys, is look, if you get 1 reach out, so what? You got 1 reach out that day. You know, that's better than we do on most days, right? So that's really the thing with the RVP to be. It's goal setting. It's learning to be consistent. And I have some extra steps and tips and tricks that are going to help you guys. Look, I even took notes to be organized. You guys ready for it? Hopefully you guys have pen and paper. If not, it's recorded. So what we're going to talk about is the number 1 thing that I feel like is what holds people back from being successful, not only just quickly, but like ever. And probably the number 1 reason people want to do Arbonne, but don't, and it's time. People want more time. Well, and then they also don't do Arbonne a lot of times because they feel like they don't have enough time. And most people don't put in enough time. Time is a really important thing in Arbonne. And I tell you what, like it can be, it can be whatever you want, but most people stop just on that one idea that they don't have enough time, even though they want more time. Well, we have to do stuff sometimes for a little while so that we can do the thing we want to do for a long while. So sometimes we just have to rearrange. And that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. And I've got 6 things we're going to talk about, and each one has some little, that's how I like to take notes. I like to know what's coming. So 6 things, and each one has a couple of like bullet points underneath for your structure of your notes. So time, we all have the same amount of time as Beyonce, right? We've all got 24 hours in a day. I like to think about it that sometimes like that. Like Beyonce's, she's got the same amount of time that I do. So 24 hours in a day. So what if I told you that you can build your business and you can build it big in 1 hour a day, Monday through Friday? Right? Would you like that idea? You like that? All right. Yeah, let's do that. So how do we do it? We pick 1 hour. And for some of you who are challenged with 1 hour, 2 half an hours. I don't care. If you can't string together 1 hour, do 2 half an hours. I just censored myself. That was pretty good since I'm recording myself. So ideally 1 hour. And what you're going to do is you're going to pick that hour, and it's going to be that consistent hour that you put on your calendar every single Monday through Friday. And I recommend what works the best. And mind you, I built my business while I was working and I still had kids at home. So I get it. A lot of sports, all the stuff. But when I put it on my calendar first and then everything else fit in around it, it worked way better than when I put all the other things on the calendar. Then I tried to find my time. It's just harder. You can do it if you decide to, but it's harder. If you have a non-negotiable time, this is my hour from whatever to whatever, I don't care. It can be even in the like kind of a little bit awkward to text out, just like a tiny bit too early or a tiny bit too late, whatever. People text and send out messages and emails, whatever, at all hours of the day, it doesn't matter. So find that time, Monday through Friday, put your business first. I wish I could build this business for each and every single one of you, but I can't. So you have to put it first. Your upline wants to build it for you. Trust me, there's nobody on this screen that wants you to grow your business more than I do, right? We want you guys to build your business, but you have to put that hour first. So number 1, get yourself a timer. Get it on your phone. I don't care if you have a physical timer, one of those weird egg things. I don't care. Get yourself a timer because this is all going to be timed because this is 1 solid hour. That's all you have to do. Number 1, first thing you do, this is a 5 minutes. You do a brain dump. Has anybody heard of that before? It's a really cool tool. Piece of paper and a pen, 5 minutes. Dump out all the things that you have. Do you guys ever just like hold the things in your head, like even basic things like I got to print my insurance cards because those are expired. I need to get this thing in the mail. I need to do some laundry. I really need to get back to this one client. I have to drop that thing off. You know, those lists, we have them. 5 minutes, dump it all out. Get it written out. You can spend 5 minutes. As soon as you are done, as soon as your pen stops moving, go back, put a D next to everything that you can delegate. Because most of us on here have significant others for the most part, or people in our lives where we're doing stuff for them. Guess what? They can do it just fine. And I say it just like that because I struggle with it still to this day. Because I feel like, number 1, I feel like I can do it better. Not gonna lie, it's part of it. It's my control freak. It's my thing. I'm working on it. But we don't have to do everything. Delegate. Get rid of some stuff. Let's see. And then put your top 5. Don't put more than 5 things on your to-do list for yourself. Don't put more than like 5 things that you need to do, and especially not in one day. Spread it out. You don't have to get all those things done in one day. You're going to overwhelm yourself. You're going to get to the end of the day and you're going to feel like you didn't do anything, and then you're going to be bummed about it. Then you're definitely not going to come home and work on your Arbonne business because now you just feel like you failed on your to-do list for the day anyway. So take it easy on yourself. Take your 5 things, spread them throughout the day or throughout the week, right? So make it easy on yourself. Step 2. You guys ready for some social media stuff? The like thing that everybody wants to be good at, but nobody wants to be that person on social media at the same time, right? I'm really excited about some of these because some of these are things I want to like shake you and tell you because I've learned them the hard way. So here goes. 10 minutes, social media, set your little egg timer. 10 minutes on your social media posts. This is not your story. So these tips I'm going to give you are not about the stories on like Instagram or Facebook. Those kind of don't count. Those get to be kind of commercially and salesy. Some of these things I'm going to talk about apply to that too, but not all of them. I'm going to talk about posts, Facebook posts and Instagram posts. So daily. And yes, this takes time, and you will get good to the point where you can do this in 10 minutes a day. It's very easy to get on social media and get like into that rabbit hole, and all of a sudden it's taken you 15 minutes to make a post. That's no more. 10 minutes. Go ahead. Or are you just raising your hand because that's what happens to you? Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I don't have my mouse. I'm sorry. I'm like using my finger on my thing, and I'm real bad at it. There are apps. I know one specifically is called Hootsuite, like hoot like an owl, that you can upload photos to and all of your posts. If you were like, hey, actually, instead of this 10 minutes, I'm going to take like 50, 70 or whatever. Anyway, on a Sunday, and you can put all of your posts for the entire week and schedule them, and they will put them each day, like at a specific time, and like on Instagram and Facebook. So
I love it.
I learned that from hairstyling stuff. So
yeah. And now I don't know if I'd have to look at this because I do that right now. I've got all of our healthy living page. I have posts every day already done for the whole entire month. Took me like 3 hours, done for the month, done. And that is just a option inside of groups on Facebook, but I don't know if that's a thing on just on a regular post. So that would be cool. So Hootsuite. I feel like I've heard that before too. Maybe it was from you.
I'm only talking about it for the record. I've definitely never made my life easier and done it, but you know, now it's out there.
Now you're going to have to.
Goals.
So 3 a day. And 3 a day, something in the morning, something in the afternoon, something in the evening. And look, here's the thing. Same thing with the like 5 reach outs. So what if you don't do 3 a day? So what if you start doing 1 a day? Awesome. Good job. That's more than you normally do. Go ahead, Cassie.
So 3 posts a day, just, and all, like one or all of them have to do with Arbonne? Like what?
None of them. I'm so glad you asked. Here goes. Yes. Glad you asked. Oh, weird that you would ask that. Here's the next little tab. So 3 posts a day, and they want to be adding value. These are, something can be family oriented, something that's like your family pictures, you know, your animals, whatever, fun things about your life, not Arbonne. Adding free value, you know, recipes, information about food, information about whatever your passions are, things that your network is going to learn something from you. And whether that's something you find on the 30-day page and you like the information, you do a little bit more information and it's like, oh, did you know that most of the time when you're hungry, you're actually just thirsty? Like, I'm going to try and drink more water today. Not a thing to do with Arbonne, but you're marketing yourself as somebody that knows stuff about health. That being said, don't use the share button ever. Ever, every time you do it, I see it, I cry. Every time. Every time I cry. Because nobody sees it and it's spam. People see it as spam. So it's easy, and I used to do it all the time until all of a sudden I had like 180 people on Facebook anymore because people would just, this was before you could unfollow people, they would just unfriend because I was like, ooh, look at this Dr. Deanna Osborne gut health thing, share, wouldn't even say anything in it. I just did all the wrong things. It's fine. I just wanted everybody to have healthy guts, but nobody listened to me. So you got to make it personal. You got to make it like you're writing. Go and, copy and paste that stuff if you want. Don't hit share. Don't post pictures of Arbonne product. Don't say Arbonne. Don't, in these 3 posts, don't say Arbonne. Don't post pictures of them. What was the other thing? And no names of like product. This is just adding value. This is building that interaction. It's building engagement in your social media. So in that, also think of, let's see. Oh, I kind of talked about that already. Most people, so it's kind of, in the 5 years I've had my business, it's kind of shifted. I used to have people be like, I don't want to be that person that's like posting things on Facebook all the time. And now we've like made this huge shift of, can I just post things on Facebook all the time and not talk to anybody? Well, you're still spamming people. Stop doing that. I love you. I've been wanting to get that out for a while because I know what it does to your social media because it's the same thing that's happened to mine. That being said, the stories, get all over it because that is where you can be a little bit more direct. You can be a little bit more, but you have to add other things that add value. Recipes are my favorite. That's my thing. I love food. If you hate cooking, don't do recipes. Do something you love. Whatever it is, hair, whatever, your kids stuff that I would, if I posted like a tip for like getting kids to be able to fall asleep, my network would freak out. They'd be like, what are you doing? do things that are dear, right? They'd be like, are my children safe? Sabrina's trying to get them to fall asleep. Like, do things that work for your network, right? So that being said, we're working on, I mean, your goal here is we're working on attracting, we're building interest, the things you do want to do to build that interest. And this is where the lifestyle piece comes in. I've talked a couple about this to a couple of you before. We're showing people the lifestyle of Arbonne. If you don't come to the meetings, if you don't go to the Ben's bashes, you're not going to be able to share the lifestyle. Actually, I thought I just saw Jessica pop on here. And there is an Ashley's iPhone. I don't know if that's Ashley Anderson. There's two Ashley Andersons. Ashley Anderson in Salem brought on Jessica, who brought on Jackie, who's on here right now. Ashley had invited Jessica, who's a good friend of hers, to the Salem Ben's Bash. She couldn't make it, but then she saw Ashley tagged in a picture with the Ben's and was like, what's this? What are you doing? And that got us a phone call with Jessica, and now she's all in and is a district manager because of a picture from a Ben's Bash where Jessica went, didn't have any guests, but she was still committed to going. So posting those kind of lifestyle things is huge for your social media. You want to build that attraction. So another thing on there is going live. This is something I don't do that often. I did it today. And I made protein pancakes. You guys, so proud of myself. Made protein pancakes, did not mention Arbonne. And I actually had somebody, I said, you guys all know what I use. And I had somebody, actually a bartender from a local restaurant here in town, so Lindsay probably knows, reach out to me. Wait, I don't know what protein you use. Wait, what? You don't know? So, there's people out there that don't know what we do. And if you build that, if I would have said, oh, Arbonne, he wouldn't know what that is anyway, but he'd be like, whatever. But because I built in a little bit of, oh, you know what it is. Oh, you want to know? You have to reach out to me. Because I built that into it, people are asking questions. So alive every week. Doesn't have to be you doing a thing. It could be you out for a walk. Oh my gosh, look how pretty it is out here. Like, build the interaction. If you want a social media, if you want to be able to post and ask people to do a 30-day, you're going to have to let them know that you are a authority on wellness. And you do that by posting things that are not Arbonne related. Does that make sense? Without being too ranty, I'll stop there now because I get really excited about it. So that being said, also use your Instagram stories. I get a lot of my stuff by following other people in Arbonne that are killing it, whether they're RVPs, NVPs, area managers, I don't care. I'm following them. I'm borrowing their things, and I'm reposting a lot of their stuff on my Instagram story by cutting out their face. If you don't know how to do that, Google it because it's very easy. So number 3, 20 minutes. This is the longer one, 20 minutes. This is for your conversations. This is your 5 asks. And for some of you, this might make you want to throw up right now to do 5 reach outs, right? Some of us haven't done 5 reach outs in 2 weeks. So doing 5 reach outs 5 days in a row might make you go, I have no idea how I'm going to do that. Do 2. So what? Do 2. Great. But really, if you really want to go at a click, and if you don't, that's fine. We love you where you're at. But if you do 5. And this is the direct ask. This is I would love you to take a look at this because I think you would be great. I get it's not for you. Would you just meet me for coffee? Or would you just hop on a call? And then use your upline. Take your upline with you. I promise. It is worth it. Let's see. So, and then you can use that time also for follow-ups. Use that for people that came to parties and didn't do anything, said they would host, didn't. That's my favorite. That's where I start when I'm doing my follow-ups. People that said they'd host, I just start that conversation like nothing has changed. A lot of times in the beginning, I would go back to, are you sure you still want to host for me? How whiny. That was one thing. Yeah. Oh, I was a wuss in the beginning. Wuss for years. I didn't want to be offensive to anybody. They said they wanted to host. Go with that. That's the last conversation you had. Let's find a date. That's the last conversation you had. So I go right back to that. Hey, I'm bummed that we haven't been able to connect. I'm so excited to get together with you. I have some new stuff I can't wait to share. Does a weekday or weekend work better for you? I'd love to get you on my calendar. Filling up. for January. That's how you do your follow-up for people that said they would host for you. Doing 5 of those every day. So that is a part of this 20 minutes. Your next 20 minutes is starting non-Arbonne conversations, going out, reaching out to people you haven't talked to in a while. Oh, hey, Susie, I saw that, you had Kaylin's 5th birthday and you guys looked like you had fun. Did you make that cake? It looked awesome. Like, just showing interest and reconnecting with people and building those relationships. If you're not doing that and you're telling me that you are running out of people, then you're missing a big piece of what networking is. You're just reaching out, you're getting to know people, you're showing genuine interest. You do want to find who you want to help, right? You want to build those relationships. So starting those conversations, I'd recommend doing it in Messenger, but you can do it just even if it's on your friends' posts and stuff. Just build that interaction. So that was the end of number 3, and it leads us into number 4, which is more networking. 10 minutes of intentional networking. And this is, I love this because when I first started and we weren't as social media heavy, and when I was saying I was running out of people, Kathy told me, just go join a networking group. Go join a new gym, because that's what we would do. And you can still do those things, and you should still do those things. Go join a gym. Do things that are interesting to you. Go, whatever the activities are, a running club or you can tell those are all the things that are interesting to me. Whatever your things that you're interested in. Go ahead, Lindsay. Moms groups, whatever. Yeah, okay. Stroller strides groups, whatever. Just get out there and meet people, but you can also do those same things virtually. There's healthy living groups that are not Arbonne related. There are, I wrote down some other things. Go and do searches in groups for things you're interested in, things that you are passionate in. Join them, and then do a couple of things in there. Add value that aren't your Arbonne all over it, right? Add value to people's posts. Add value of your own posts. Be interactive on those groups, because you'll be amazed at how many people you can meet like that. And then actually how I met, I think I saw her on here earlier, Bree. I think I saw Brianne on here. We met on a social group, actually a mom's group, that we met on originally 5 years ago. So that's super cool. But something that you can do that's a really easy tip, once you get onto those groups, email or message the admin. Hey, thanks for adding me. I know that this is a ton of work, so if you ever need any help, just let me know. Thanks for having me. Build those relationships. Be a good human being. That's all we're doing. Adding value for other people, not expecting anything in return. Just do that, and you will be shocked at how many people you meet. I haven't struggled to meet people in years because that's what I look for. How can I add value? Actually, Gretchen, I met one of her friends in a Starbucks not too long ago. I was wearing an Arbonne hat. That's the only reason the conversation went to Arbonne. I heard these 2 gals. I'm minding my own business. I'm on my phone for the first time ever in my life. I'm over here on my phone, texting, not trying to listen in on these cute girls' conversation over here. And I'm waiting for somebody to get there for a meeting. And these 2 girls are talking about how they don't know what they're going to do for the rest of their lives. They wanted to go into med school, now they don't, and they're not sure what they want to do, and they don't know if it's what they want to do forever. And I couldn't help myself. I was like, look, coming from an older lady, let me just tell you, it does not matter what you get your degree in or what you end up doing out of school. I was in my industry for 10 years, and now I'm not, and I'm doing better than I was. So don't take yourself so seriously. Don't worry about it. And I went right back to my phone. And she said to me, I have a friend that just started doing that. And I was like, what, texting on her phone? I forgot I was wearing the hat, my Arbonne hat. And she was like, oh, no, Arbonne. I was like, oh, I had a moment of cockiness. I even told Gretchen this today. I was like, oh, who is it? She's probably in my organization. And sure enough, it was Gretchen. And they've had some one-on-ones, and it's something that she wants to do after school. So it's kind of neat, just to be out and about and just talk to people, and stuff like that will happen, and wear your Arbonne logos. So that being said, this is kind of where this piece, I think, is one of my favorites out of the social media part, is, and I see this all the time, oh, hey, I'm looking for a good protein. Here's my link, buy my stuff. don't post your link ever, please. Don't post your link. It's not going to work. You're just going to look super duper salesy. Don't do it, because nobody's going to go on there and just buy your protein. They might, but it's really, really rare. What is a better option? Go for it, Jenny.
Well, and what a total loss of an opportunity to tell Airborne's story.
Bingo.
So
I'm not here to sell protein. I don't sell protein.
No, that's such a byproduct. In fact, it pays to listen on social media. There's been so many opportunities where I have seen somebody say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so over it. I've plateaued. I need something. What are y'all doing?" I never comment on that. I go to Messenger. Hey, I saw your comment. I would love to connect with you. When can we meet? I've got a really, and in fact, a lot of times because we're friends, maybe they haven't liked my stuff, but oh my goodness, I've been watching your journey. Wow, I totally forgot that, because they're not thinking about specific people. They're just thinking about things. Start a conversation on Messenger and it'll go 100 times further. And you get an opportunity to talk to them about the business.
That's exactly where I'm going for this. Exactly it. So get into their Messenger. And a really great way, I heard this a while back, and I like this way of starting, especially when it comes to weight loss. You know, you got to be a little bit more sensitive. People are posting on social media that they're tired of being overweight. How at their wits' end do they need to be, right? So we got to tread lightly. And I liked this verbiage a lot. Hey, I was thinking about reaching out to you. I almost didn't reach out to you when I was thinking about it, because I figured you've probably been bombarded with a ton of information already, but I just can't help it because I've really loved the journey I've been on and I've finally gained some control. Do you mind me asking what you've tried so far? And just start the conversation. Get to talking. Find out what they're really looking for. Help them figure out. I have had so much more luck. I posted that 2-week detox. I only ended up having, like, of the 20 or so people that are doing it, only like 5 or 6 are doing the 2-week, because I asked before I just sent them the information of the 2-week. I said, what are your goals? Oh, you want to lose 20 pounds, girl? Then the 2 weeks, not your jam. Like, let's look at this. Because if this is your goal, this is how I can help you with it. And some of them still wanted to lose that, but could only do the 2-week. That's fine. Not a big deal. But you won't know until you ask questions. So, doing the whole, like, hey, what have you already tried? Like, what are the things that you're working on? I might be able to help, is a great way to start the conversation. And then when it gets to the point where you can introduce what you're doing, just, hey, no pressure, and it's totally not a biggie if this isn't for you, but would you be open to checking it out if I sent you info on what has worked for me? Like, you're giving them an out. You're not that person. You don't know them. They could easily block you right then and there, just not respond, right? Messenger's a tough one. So building that relationship and not being that girl that posts their link, because you will have way more luck building that relationship and asking questions than just trying to jam a bag of protein down their throat. Apparently I've had that pent up for a while, because I've gone so wrong with that for so long, that it can go right so easily. So that's it on the 10 minutes on the networking. Just join some groups, build those relationships. Actually, if it's Ashley Anderson from Salem on here too, she had asked me about networking groups, and I said, oh, hey, here's a couple of this. And she said, I'm in a mom's group. Maybe I'll just ask. Within minutes, she had 3 recommendations for groups within minutes. And one gal was even like, hey, I'll go with you. Great. But she wouldn't have known unless she asked. So build those relationships. Number 5, this is the team building. And this is 10 minutes. Team building, making sure that you're reaching out to your leaders. And these leaders most likely will not be direct to you. They will be people in your organization, probably 2 deep most of the time. Ideally, in a perfect world, they're signed up direct to you, but it's not usually the case, not always. So talking to your leaders about their goals, setting goals. That's one thing actually, where did she go? Sarah Bryant and I were talking about earlier, is just mapping out more goals and being more detailed. Some people will need a lot of detail and some of your leaders won't. They'll just be like, just tell me what to do. Go book some parties. Great, done. I need to have a goal. I need to know my numbers. I need to know how many parties should I book? I need that. So kind of learning what your leaders need. Oh, that was really hard. And talk about their goals with them and then help them achieve those goals. Find out what events you can be at, what third-party validation stuff that you can do, because here's the thing, your new people should not be talking to people by themselves. They shouldn't. Even for me, I'd love some third-party validation because it doesn't matter what you've done. They just need to see somebody else is doing it. That's it. Right, Lindsay Baker? that's it. Lindsay Baker can have Kathy Epperson as her client for a gazillion years, but once she sees somebody else doing it, boom, right? So make sure you're there with your people. Third party is huge. So help them deliver those goals by being at things, helping them with their activities. And then keeping in mind our culture, one thing that I talk about a lot is loving, and actually this was something I got from one of my VP friends. I've said a lot, love people where they're at. And one thing that Kathy has taught me is protecting my time and really working with the people that want to work. But something to remember, and it's something that I haven't done as well as soon as I learned this the other day. I haven't done this as well as I feel like I should have, and I'd like to work on that. Something I'm going to be working on is our culture is loving people where they're at. And that doesn't mean saying, great, I'll talk to you next year when you said you're ready. It means checking in on them, seeing how they're doing, seeing how their life's going, really loving them where they are as a friend. And that's something that I've been nervous to do now because I've been thinking about it for the last couple of days. I feel like I've been a little bit nervous about it because I don't want them to feel like when I'm reaching out to them, I'm saying, hey, are you ready yet? Like, I don't want them to feel any kind of guilt, because a lot of times people do. They feel like they've let you down because they're not working their business, even though that's not the case. It's not how it works. So I think I've had that kind of holding me back from doing some of that for a bit, but it is something that I'm going to work on. You're going to have people that aren't all in, or people that are just doing it as, for the discount. Reach out to them, see how they're doing. Just check in with them, because our culture is to love people where they are. And as you have more time, because you'll be able to cut back more on work, and maybe you'll even be able to quit your job, you'll be able to have more time to do those things and love on people, and making that a priority is really important. That leads into the very last thing, the sixth thing, 5 minutes, check on your clients. Do exactly what I said about your non-runners. Do that with your clients. But something that I have not done a whole lot of, and I'm definitely going to add this, adding value without asking for the sale. I'm not just blasting them because they got free eye gel masks. I'm doing that too. But I'm also adding other things like, hey, I know last time we talked, you said you were looking for a running group. I found this one and they're great. Like, you should check them out. Just things like that. Hey, I know you said you were trying to cut wine out. This is my favorite new kombucha I just tried, by the way. I did try it. My favorite new, it's watermelon, and it's phenomenal. But adding value without expecting that return. That's how you're going to keep those clients as a relationship built, instead of just being a point of sale, not just being that point of sale, but building that relationship. So that's your 6. You can do those in 1 hour. Set your timer. You can do Monday through Friday, 1 hour a day. Some of those things, it's going to take a little time to really nail those down. Like, I think the social media one probably would be of the highest challenge to me in the beginning, because I get into a rabbit hole. But if I had a timer set, it'd be a lot easier. And actually, this has been has gone into is in conjunction with doing my morning miracles, which is that book that I've been reading, and it's got the workbook that goes with it. If you guys want to know what that is, go and do a search on our team page. It's a book, it's phenomenal, but it helps you be really, really strict with your time in the morning. Get up earlier, set your routine, do your affirmations, all that stuff. Part of that is the night before, making your list of things to do the next day. And I've gone to being way more task oriented, and it's just been 1 week. not even a week, because I started when we got back from Boise, I feel so much more productive and so good about my activity. Could you guys tell today? Because I blasted the team page and everybody with all the things I got done before like 8:30 this morning. Like, it feels so good to get the things that you're thinking about done. Oftentimes people will exhaust themselves with their Arbonne business thinking about it, and they haven't done anything. And I think that that's a really big thing that weighs on people sometimes. Like, we have this guilt about it because we're like, oh, I should really message that client and I haven't. Write a list. Be more disciplined with your time. Do these 6 things. They're not hard. It's 1 hour. If you feel like you don't have an hour, Instagram has this really cool feature now. You can go and see how much time you spend on Instagram. Bet you it's more than an hour, or Facebook. But so put this first. There was a reason why you chose to do an Arbonne business. And there's a reason that, you have told your family that you're on board with this. Put those whys first for yourself, because nobody can build your business for you but you, and you have to put it first. I'm not saying you guys will go back and see Lisa's video too. She's not saying never have fun, and don't do anything with your family, but rearrange it. Put it at a place that works better so that you can get your Arbonne business taken care of first. If you do it, especially in the morning, you feel so much better about the rest of the day. So much better. So that's all I got for you guys. I'm not sure if this is going to time out or not, because it actually told me that it was going to be free for another 10 minutes. But anyhow, if it does time out, I'm sorry. But coming up, we've got a wellness workshop coming up soon. I'll post info on that. That's on the 14th, I believe. Yes. And then